First of all, I love the documentary for Science Fair, and this series just lifted my love for this show even more. What was it about being a part of this and really showing like the technical aspect, the Science Fair aspect now to really tell stories, especially your story?
Yeah, it was pretty cool at this. It was pretty cool the whole experience because it was at the same time kind of anxious but thrilling.
Mhm.
Because anxious, obviously, because they're like always recording you. They're recording like 24/7 your lives. But it was also thrilling because you get a. This is part of the science fair world. You gotta compete. You gotta do your projects, come up with your ideas, and hope to God to place and actually go further and further. So it was a pretty cool experience in competing in ISEF and being part of the documentary in order to represent my island of Puerto Rico's and all Latinos around the world, and also at the same time getting to know other projects and other people's ideas and learn from their cultures and their experiences in the science fair world.
Yeah. And that's the one thing, like I went to a technical high school, so I know the pressures of
Yeah.
having to do things like and get them try and get them as correctly as you possibly can before you go into a science fair. Dr. Torres, how was it to be that support system? Because I know my mom was an amazing support system during my time in high school, and I can only imagine that you were such an amazing support system to Endrick as well.
Oh, definitely. I support him 100% in every idea that he has, every journey that he decided to go with the science fair projects. He always covers these ideas since seventh grade. So since he was in seventh grade, I've been there to support him, not only as mom, as also as a teacher and a mentor. So he knows well the division of each of those roles. And I get not only to support him, I get to support more than 200 students in my research program from 7th to 12th grade in Colegio Rosabel. So it's a very hard work, but nothing more satisfying than watching them fulfill their dreams, their interests, and boost their motivation towards research.
Yes, exactly. Because in no time does science and technology mean more when people are questioning science and technology. So, and that's when I want to get into the project. Endrick, where did you come up with the idea for this piece of technology that would help pretty much prevent infections? Tell us a little bit about it, where the idea came from.
Yeah, so this idea for this project came from like basically both of my last two projects, which were like in 11th grade and 12th grade, both were inspired by the idea of of health problems that occurred in my family. For example, my 11th grade project was based on due to my brother suffering from epilepsy seizures. So I made a wearable sensor that can detect, measure different types of epileptic seizures. This last project, which is shown in the documentary, which shows is another idea that occurred in my that another situation that occurred in my family, which was the passing of my grandfather, on my grandpa. My bad. The passing of my grandpa, which occurred because he had a injury, a really severe injury, but the hospital in Puerto Rico wasn't like monitoring it well, and they weren't checking it really good. So that's the reason why he passed, because that severe injury got an infection, and it was too late in order to cure him or treat him well. So what I made is what me and my partner Sabil made was a monitoring system that could detect the levels of temperature, humidity, and pressure in an injury. Now, these three factors are very important because they're based on the healing process of an injury. If these three factors go haywire, that means there's a possibility of you getting an infection or it's not healing well.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, because I was watching the show and I was looking at your technology. I was just like, one, I'm always proud when I see Latinos creating and building new things, especially that helps people. And I was
Yeah.
looking at it and I was just like, dude, this is just awesome. This is amazing. Like I can already see the future of what technology like this can become.
Thank you.
And it's just, I was blown away. Like I was, compared to when I was working in electronics and computer science back in a long time ago, and we weren't even close to thinking about those things. And I look at what you're doing, and it's amazing. When you're developing with your partner, did you ever think like you would get this attention, like for your project, and where the possibilities could go? Because I'm sure it's opened up so many doors, and when the show comes out, it's just going to be even more.
Yeah. What was on my mind the whole time was because obviously these last two projects were like based on family situations that occurred. And I was thinking the whole time, I can't be the only one that suffers from this family situations. There, like, there's a whole lot of people in a global level that possibly could suffer from this type of family situation that I'm passing through right now. So in my mind, that was like the one thing that resonated in me. I was like, I can't be the only one that's passing through this. So let me make something that could possibly solve this problem.
Yeah. I mean, when you see it, when it happens with family issues, and I think that's the best tech, because you're trying to prevent what happened with you with other people. And I think that's always the best tech and the most creative tech. Dr. Torres, I want to get back to you and talk about what you do at your school. Please tell me a little bit about your program and what you have done in order to help build the STEM programs in Puerto Rico at your school.
Okay. I've been in Colegio Rosabal in Guaynabo for 22 years. 12 years ago, I decided to install the research program. So I call it Research Stamina for All. With the help of my director, he said, okay, I go with you. He's always been so supportive with me. So he says, okay, if you want it, you can do it. Just show me that you can do this. And the last 12 years, I've been showing him that no matter that we are not a specialized school in science and math, we compete in the same league that those specialized schools. So we have our curriculum integrated from K to 12 with STEM. So all the subjects integrate STEM in their assessments and activities. We integrated to a STEM family night where all the students, instead of having the competition mode like science fair, they just created they just created something. Something dropped.
Yeah.
They just created something. They created different projects. And we opened the school. The courtyard completely changed into an interactive museum, the Science Interactive Museum, where instead of competition, they are just showing others what the amazing things that science can do. So it's a night for parents, for homeschoolers that call us to. We have colleges as presenters. We have different activities. So every student in the school, every grade in the school prepares something for that night. And we have been like that since those 12 years. And the past 5 years have been pretty amazing. You can see the fruit of that labor. And in terms of the last 5 years were because I got to be an ambassador of Society for Science. And they help us a lot with materials, with supports, with different activities. Also, I got into a USPTO MTIP, or Master Teacher of Invention Ambassador too. And they have been very supportive too with different activities and materials. And because the reality is that we don't have the amount of money that other schools have to support their projects. We cannot compete with the big entities that gave their student Tesla motors or bionics to compete in ISEF. But I'm proud of my research program and my students of all, because they, with the simple things that they have, they get a spot as finalists and as ISEF too. Yeah. So they're getting that spot too. So as Latinos, we are so proud. I'm extremely proud to have a research program that it's taking and part of a team of a Puerto Rico team that it's taking Latinos and Puerto Ricans to compete in ISEF.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm proud to see what the work that you've done, and I've done my research on what your school's done, and it's just amazing. Endrick, I want to ask you, during this whole series, it was your senior year, correct?
Yeah, it was my senior year. Yeah.
Now let's go into what we're doing now. You graduated now, you're senior. Where are you at now, so that people could see that where your progression is?
Yeah, right now I'm studying in a college in Puerto Rico called Intermetro. Currently, right now I'm studying in international business since I got this. I don't know. I was researching like how to make your own business and how to create your own companies, and it really like resonated in me. So I started studying international business, and right now it's going pretty well. Thank God.
Awesome. That's cool. Because, well, that's like the one thing I learned after coming out of Bosco Tech was that the fact that the business aspect of everything is so important. It's not just the creative technical aspect. You got to have your business skills as well. And it's a great way and a great step forward. And I'm sure when people see this series and see what you're doing, you're going to inspire a bunch of Latinos around not only the country, but around the world in order to really pick up something, create, get into the STEM field, and really bring some new minds, younger minds into the science fairs. So both of you, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I could have gone really nerdy with this, and I didn't want to because then some people won't understand. but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Continue the amazing work.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
thanks for having us.
You're making all of us Latinos who are in technology so proud to see the next generation come up.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.